Hello, students. Welcome back to another lesson online. On this opportunity, we're going to be working with the generation of patterns, algebraic patterns, and how they relate to each other. So, basically, today's lesson is about how y relates to x in the coordinate plane. This is the plane right here. You can see this is a y-axis. This is like a number line going from top to bottom that is connected to another number line that is going from left to right. And when those two lines connected, they make what they call a coordinate plane. A coordinate plane. And then in the coordinate plane, you can actually see how two numbers are related. Okay, we're going to use this from now on, the coordinate plane, to show the relationships. But the relationships cannot only be expressed using a coordinate plane. It can also be used using an equation that we're familiar with, a table that we're familiar with, and now, of course, the graph. So every time we have two numbers that are related, or to express that relationship, we can use either one of these three formats. So let's get started with the first relationship, which is y equals x. What I'm saying here is that I want to create my table. I'm going to use y first and then x. I'm going to assign some values to x, like 0, 1, 2, and then 3. What I'm saying right here is that if x is 0, then y is also 0, because y equals x, right? If x equals 1, then y is going to have the value of 1. The same for here and the same for here. How do you express that on the table? Well, on the graph, you come over here. It says y is 0, so this is y right here is 0. X is also 0, so that dot right here is the first one. It's right here, 0, 0, 1 dot. X1, Y1. So X is 1 right here. Y is 1. Well, you go up and they connect right here. So this is the value of 1, 1. Then you have 2, 2. The same situation comes up right here. 2, 2 is going to be right here. Okay, and then 3, 3. You can see that. 3 right here. 3 right here. So you have a dot right here. 4, 4 is going to be right here. Okay, when you have all those dots, you connect them using a line, and then you can see how those two numbers are represented. If x goes up, y also goes up. If x goes down, then y also goes down. Okay, so you can see that line represents their relationship. It's going to continue all the way up. And now, how that helps in algebra is that if you know that, if you understand the relationship of two numbers, two variables, like x and y, then it's very likely that you can make predictions of what could happen in the future, or after a given scenarios, you can make those predictions, and that's what's the cool part about this. Let's go ahead and explore other type of relationships. This one is a relationship that is called additive, because we're adding. You can see the plus symbol right here. We're adding. So I'm going to go ahead and give x different values, 0, 1, 2, and 3. You can give them different numbers you want, but I guess because we're limited in space, I'm going to use small numbers, okay? So what I'm saying is, if x is 0, how much is y? So let me see. I have y equals 1.5 plus x. I'm saying if x is 0, y equals 1.5. 1.5 plus 0 is 1.5. 1.5. If x is not 0 but 1, so that means that 1.5 plus 1 is going to be 2.5. It's 2.5. Okay, move on to the next value. If x is 2, it's going to be 1.5 plus 2. Y is going to be 3.5. It's going to be 3.5. And we know that if x is 3, y is going to take the value of 4.5. All right. additive graph relationship. Again, x0, y is going to be 1.5, so x is right here, y is going to be around right here. This dot right here is this first number. X is 0 and y is 1.5. X is 1, it's 2.5, it's going to be around right here. 2, 3.5, 2, 3.5 is going to be around right here. And then 3, 4.5 is going to be around right here. Look at that relationship, a straight line. Doesn't start at the origin, so that means that when x is 0, our y already has a value. But it's a straight line, and that's the relationship between, this line represents the relationship between x and y in this additive structure. Because you're adding, it's called additive. Let's go ahead and do the last connection. This one is called multiplicative because this 2 is multiplying y. I'm going to go ahead and give x certain values, 0, 1, 2, and 3. Again, just because those are small numbers, easy to work with. If x is 0, y equals 0. If x equals 1, y equals 2. If x equals 2, y equals 4. And if x equals 3, y equals 6. Okay, there you go. Let's go to the graph real quick. X is 0, y is 0. The point's going to start right on the origin, which is good. X is 1, y is 2. There you go. X is 2, y is 4. There you go. There is steep line. 3 is going to be 6. Well, there's not 6 right here. So I'm going to assume it's going to be all the way up here. Straight line that is very steep. It's a multiplicative structure. Multiplicative. Because you're multiplying. So that's how we connect the equation to the table to the graph. Let's go ahead and solve a couple of problems. It says right here, the graph shown represents the rule y equals x plus 1.5. As you can see, this is an additive structure because you're adding. So the question is, which table contains only values that represent the rule? So there are 4 tables right here, and 3 of them are not correct. They're giving you fake numbers. So I'm going to write my equation right here, y equals x plus 1.5. And what you have to do is test. Well, let's eliminate some of them if we can, right? If we can. Let's start off with A. If x equals 0, how much is y? It should be 1.5, right? So if x 0, y should be 1.5. That one is wrong, so it's not going to be this one. And I have a similar relationship right here, so that one's going to be wrong too, because this value is wrong. So if x is 0, y should be 1.5. So this one is correct, this one is correct. Let me change then. If x is 1, how much is y? It's going to be 2.5. Is that correct? So this one is wrong. This one is the correct one. And that's going to be, I mean, you can continue, but this is going to be wrong. So the answer should be D. 3.5, 4.5, and 9.5. Let's go ahead and do that one right here. This one has a multiplicative structure because we're multiplying. Again, you have to check every value. So let's start off with y equals 3 times x. Y equals. So let's start out with f. If x equals 3, y is going to be 9. So it's not f. It's wrong. Okay. Let's start off with 1. If x, let's do g. If x equals 1, y equals 3. Now this is correct. If x equals 3, y is going to be 9. Oh, that's correct. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 3 is 12. 7 times 3 is 21. Alright, that seems to be okay. Let's do this one right here. Let's do this one just to double check to find the error. Where's the mistake here? So if x is 1, y should be 3. So this is not that one. This one is 3 times 4 is 12. The error mistake is right here. If x is 4, then y should be 12. And that's not the case, so that one is wrong. The answer is going to be G. All right, go ahead and take the test. Let me know if you have any questions. Good luck.